weather now that a nor'easter is moving out. Vivian had that weather story for you moments ago, but look at this one. Amazing shot in Holme, Massachusetts. Oh, wow. Massive waves right in the Gun Rock neighborhood area.
And did you catch the eclipse yesterday? We carried it here live on the Weather Channel. The photo of the partial eclipse is shot at sunset in Buffalo, Minnesota.
Looks like a giant orange cookie.
Yes, it
looks
does.
Fantastic. That sounds good. Hey, check out this cloud formation over parts of Texas. This was taken from the International Space Station. Astronaut Reed Wiseman says it looks like Houston was really just split in half. You look, Viv, it's just almost like a diagonal, just like a line right across it from clouds and clear skies.
All right, well, our number one picture is of some cool clouds, too. The billow clouds were shot in Colorado yesterday. Dr. Greg Forbes says they indicate a lot of vertical shear in the atmosphere, and you can see that it literally looks like the ocean with different little pockets of waves coming in.
Fluid dynamics.
That is a cool shot.
It is a great shot.
All right, we love you and your pictures. Send them to us. You can upload them by going to weather.com/photos.
All right, folks, see you in a little bit. Stick around.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy skies, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 30%. Saturday, mainly clear, high 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Rain, yes. Tornadoes, not so much. They're not common in the Pacific Northwest, but this one just happened. We're taking this storm to the lab to find out more about it.
And up in the sky, it's a solar eclipse. The moon may have already passed the sun, but the Earth could still see and actually feel more effects from this extraterrestrial marvel.
And the Weather Channel has a new look at a hurricane that slammed western Mexico last month. You'll get a closer look at this video in the next hour, right here on Weather Center Live.
Well, you know, Vivian, it's not something that people expect to deal with in Washington State. A tornado actually confirmed, and there is damage to report. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Reynolds Wolf.
And I'm Vivian Brown. It's Friday, October 24th, and the tornado formed in the Portland, Oregon area. Let's take a look at some of the video. But as Reynolds mentioned, we had no injuries, but quite a bit of damage, as you can see here. The tornado tore right through the middle of Main Street in Longview. And as you can imagine, you know, not something that town is used to seeing, but you can see these ominous clouds that push through the area, just the beginnings of the makings of a tornado. You can even see the little funnel cloud kind of sticking out from the base of that cloud. Okay, let's talk more about how it impacted the city. KGWTV's Nina Melhoff shows us some of that damage.
A lot of damage still on the ground here in Longview, Washington. Take a look. This is some of the most visual representation of what happened yesterday afternoon. This cinder block wall at this towing company was no match for this tornado. It brought down tons of bricks right down on top of one of their towing vehicles and just made a complete mess of their backyard here. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the city. No employees in this building were hurt, but boy, were they sure freaked out when this EF1 tornado came right over the top of their building. The National Weather Service says there were 110-mile-per-hour winds. This thing covered almost a mile and a half, and people could see the funnel forming in the dark sky. They got their cell phone cameras out and started taking pictures of it. All of a sudden, debris, roofing, garbage cans, even a huge trampoline, all tossed in the air. At least 8 buildings were damaged, and a number of homes and trees were uprooted. Now, also, the National Weather Service is here on the ground surveying all this damage today. They say the last time this happened in Washington, it was down in Vancouver in 1972. So this is obviously very rare, and it really came out of nowhere. We've had a few days of rain and some higher winds gusting in the 40, 50 mile per hour range, but nothing like this. Luckily, no one was hurt. Back to you.
Well, thanks so much. We'll pick it up from here. We've got Dr. Greg Postel with us, and seeing it's almost like an apparition. Seeing something just appear out of the sky like this. How unusual is it to have something like this?
In the Great Plains, it's very common, but in the Pacific Northwest, not so much. And probably people were wondering, what is that? Right? Well, it's actually a tornado. It may not look like it because it's just sticking from the cloud only that much.
I mean, you see the people riding by on the bikes, they didn't even notice it.
Right.
I mean,
But it's actually on the ground. The circulation is on the ground, even though the funnel hasn't made it all the way there. So you wonder, how can that be? How can you have a funnel and the circulation be on the ground? Well, here's why. What happens is a tornado is just a little thin strip of low pressure, really, and the pressure hasn't gotten low enough near the ground to cool the atmosphere enough to condense out the clouds. So the tornado's there, but you just can't see it because the cloud hasn't sort of formed. That's all.
So, I mean, for example, you take the same scenario and you go to we talked about earlier, a freshly plowed field in say, Nebraska.
Why not?
It's able to pick it up.
Yes.
And you're able to see that you can see basically the funnel.
In fact, that's how I saw my first tornado. It was like that, and it was in Iowa. We were watching it, and we saw the funnel.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, we saw this debris getting kicked up underneath it, and we knew right then that we had a tornado. That's what it was.
Is this testament to how whenever we have any kind of thunderstorm activity, you can't rule out a chance of some kind of tornadic activity? I mean, it's
kind of
unlikely,
true.
But
Yeah, you have to sort of weigh your odds here. But it is true, you can't really ever say zero. But, sometimes, look at that. Look at how the debris got kicked up right there. You're thinking, where's that from? Did a bomb go off? No, it's actually the tornado, even though you can't see it. Again, the winds are probably 100 miles per hour at peak right near the surface there, and it's doing some damage. So, your eyes can be deceiving.
Always wow moments when it comes to our weather.
Oh, yeah.
Always fascinating. Again, thanks so much. Let's send it over to Viv. Viv, take it away.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, I tell you what, it looks much better today in Washington State and much of northern Oregon. But as we look at the current radar over the central and southern part of the state of Oregon, we are picking up this onshore flow, and you can see the rain bands moving on off to the east, even kind of side-swiping the northern parts there of California. But it is the Pacific Northwest that will get to the lion's share of precipitation as we go through the weekend. It's all because that moist flow is still in place. The jet stream taking a little dive here, and those upper air winds will just be pushing all of the disturbances into the Pacific Northwest over the next several days. The next several days, yeah, that's the weekend. So doesn't look like the best of weekends here in the Pacific Northwest. Periods of rain, locally heavy. Here you go, officially today, rain showers expected all across this area. And tomorrow, we may even include the northern and central parts of California, maybe as far south as San Francisco. So keeping you updated on that. And then on Sunday, quite interesting, we could be talking about a little bit of mountain snow, say in the Bitterroots of Montana and Idaho, and maybe even down near the Tetons of Wyoming, not to mention the Cascades of Washington and Oregon. Maybe the first little vestiges of some winter weather to talk about. But of course, that will be in the higher elevations and more or less kind of a wet snow event. So we'll be watching the just persistent onshore flow for this region, because it'll kind of be enhanced, believe it or not, with Tropical Storm Ana that moved out south of the Hawaiian Islands. But believe it or not, now it's veering back across the eastern Pacific, the northeastern Pacific, and it'll be pushing into the Pacific Northwest. So right on through the weekend, we're talking about the locally heavy rain, up to 2, maybe 3 inches along the coast here. So Portland, you're right in the middle of it all. Ending the week on a wet note, going through the weekend and beginning next week, much of the same. Reynolds?
All right, keeping it in the West, Viv. The Baseball World Series, perhaps you've heard of it. Well, we're going to stay in the West. We're going to go to San Francisco next. Before you watch the game tonight at AT&T Park, we're going to show you how that stadium was designed around the weather. After that, if you missed the solar eclipse yesterday, you're going to have to wait a few years for the next big chance, or you can watch it again with us in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by Progressive. Join over 3 million drivers who switched to Progressive last year.
You want to fix this mess?
A mess? I don't think...
What's that?
Snapshot from Progressive. Plug it in and you can save on car insurance based on your good driving.
You sell to me?
No, it's free. Want to try?
I try this if you try not this.
Okay.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier, turn to the experts.
What was that?
Sunday night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Some of the drivers have reported apparitions. They see a ghostly mist.
Perhaps it's some sort of a ghostly revenge. Payback time.
American Supernatural. Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy skies, high 79, winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71, chance of rain 30%. Saturday, mainly clear, high 80, winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather like never before.
Look at this.
Listen to that. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
How did I set a new personal record today? I started with a test run. Then I got a solid night's rest in a great room. And before I hit the road, I hit the breakfast bar, where I got my fuel for the next 26 miles.
Great endings begin here. That's why at Choice Hotels, we give you cozy rooms, free breakfast, and right now when you take 2 separate trips, you earn 1 night free. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Hello, I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. There you go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Are we still on for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is full of promise.
We can come back tomorrow.
And we promise to keep it that way. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
What a day.
Can't wait till tomorrow.
So you're saying you're gonna give me my credit score for free, right? And then you're gonna ask me for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low. 2 weeks later, look, Credit Karma.
Oh, are you talking to websites again?
It's saying free credit score.
Credit Karma? Yeah, it's actually free. Look, you don't have to put in your credit card information. Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Fist bump.
There you have it, the city by the bay on an absolutely gorgeous Friday. Not only is a great place, of course, for Asian cuisine and fresh fish, it's also the epicenter for the sports universe this upcoming weekend.
That's right. Yeah, the World Series is going to shift to San Francisco tonight for Game 3. We're talking about AT&T Park. It's home of the Giants. It's also known for swirling winds and even some outfield mist at times.
Yeah, that's baseball by the bay for you.
That's right. As Mike Bettis explains, it's why they built their field around the weather. Take a look.
This is where the Giants call home, and arguably the first baseball stadium with a design influenced by weather. Enter Bruce White, a nationally recognized authority in airflow physics at the University of California, Davis, asked by the Giants to help solve its windy issues.
Knowing the wind environment in the city of San Francisco, it could prove to be a challenge to work with that and make it a friendly, wind-friendly stadium.
Using a 1/50th scale model of downtown San Francisco, White's team tested 2 proposed stadium configurations in the school's wind tunnel. The blueprint the team architects originally favored had the grandstands to the east. This gave most of the fans a beautiful panoramic view to the west of downtown San Francisco. Now, the only problem with that is during baseball season, April through October, the prevailing wind in San Francisco is out of the west and northwest. And during wind tunnel testing, this park design and setup would actually double the winds of Old Candlestick Park.
The preferred design had the problem of the wind catching essentially the upper deck and swirling around like a vortex. Really not unlike what was occurring at Candlestick Point.
It just wasn't going to work. And as much as everyone loves views here in San Francisco, we had to modify the design.
By rotating the stadium 135 degrees, the tall grandstands would now act as a wind buffer to the strong west and northwest breezes during the baseball season. It was this subtle change, all for the sake of weather, that would also create, inadvertently, one of baseball's most iconic right fields, as home runs would splash down in McCovey Cove.
I don't even care if you're even not a baseball fan. It's still spectacular out there. It's so beautiful. And I'll tell you, the weather tonight is going to be pretty nice. By the time we have the first pitch, skies relatively clear. It's an 8:07 p.m. Eastern time first pitch, and then into the evening we dial those temperatures back into the 60s. We might have a bit of a fly in the ointment in terms of the forecast for Saturday, because we're going to see some scattered showers move in. I'm not saying it's going to be a total washout, but Viv, we're definitely going to be dodging the raindrops there.
Yeah, kind of dodging the raindrops, but I tell you what, the Pacific Northwest is pretty much the only region of the country that will see some rain this weekend. Look at the rest of the nation. 90% of the country enjoying partly to mostly sunny conditions, from Southern California and Arizona all the way to the Midwest. Look at this, 70 degrees tomorrow in Chicago with a fair amount of sunshine. Perfect in Atlanta at 76 and 83 down Miami way. Now here's a look at the forecast for Sunday, because as we wrap up the weekend, we're still looking at a beautiful day in Boston, 56 degrees. New York City, about 58. Down to Atlanta, a little warmer on Sunday now than tomorrow, Atlanta. So just be mindful of that, but still very comfortable and looking good. Fall-like, a little coolish for Chicago and Minneapolis, but we're in that time of year, of course. 'Tis the season. And look at Denver. Another perfect temperature, 76 on Sunday. Reynolds?
76 in Denver. That's fantastic. All right, folks, well, your eyes may have been peeled to the skies as a solar eclipse captivated the country yesterday, but what we saw may not be over. We're going to have that story for you coming up on the other side of this break.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing, but Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
Gorgeous greens at your service.
Eat right, not less.
This looks interesting.
What's going on here?
Would you like to try some hot cereal?
Special K Nourish Hot Cereal.
Special K? Wow. Wow.
Made with superfoods.
Superfoods sound good to me.
There's quinoa, barley.
I can definitely taste the quinoa. Good. I can't believe that's less than 200 calories.
To help you truly shine.
This is a way to be good to me.
Nurturing yourself. What will you gain?
There is something in the people. Something in the sand. There's something in the air. Something in the water. Something in the night. And it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of all right. Book with Southwest Vacations for special travel deals.
What do you mean homeowners insurance doesn't cover floods?
few inches of water caused all this?
But I don't even live near the water.
What you don't know about flood insurance may shock you, including the fact that a preferred risk policy starts as low as $129 a year. For an agent, call 188-RAIN-914.
This fall, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It will all start with the weather.
The weather's too important to cover in a few minutes.
It's starting to intensify.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
Look at this.
It's the Buick. Sir. Buick. Where's the Buick? Buick. Buick.
The expectation-shattering Buick LaCrosse.
During the Buick model year closeout, switch to Buick and lease this 2014 LaCrosse for around $299 per month.
Every Wednesday, Bravo brings back its original recipe.
Welcome to Top Chef.
And look who's a judge this season.
I don't get a lot of the ginger in the cherries.
It's a little abrupt to get the feedback right away.
This is Top Chef, and I didn't come here to toss salad.
Top Chef is supersized.
I'd gladly eat a lot more of it.
Wednesday, October 15th at 10/9 Central. Only by Bravo.
Brought to you by the South Florida Mercedes-Benz dealers, featuring the Mercedes-Benz 2015 GLA and Mercedes-Benz 2015 C-Class, or go to mbsouthflorida.com.
Mom who knows the smart ways to stretch a dollar and simple ways to get a smile. Zulily.com. Something special every day.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy skies, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 30%. Saturday, mainly clear, high 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Okay, America, feast your eyes on this. In today's View from Above, the sun and moon put on a spectacular show for all of us here on Earth yesterday. A partial solar eclipse happened right at sunset. But you know what? The show may not be over just yet. And joining us now to talk about that, a very interesting solar feature that we noticed is Kelly Beatty. And he's a great guy, America. I want you to get a chance to meet this guy. He's with Sky and Telescope magazine. And Kelly, there were some pretty interesting features about this eclipse, weren't there?
Sure enough. One of them was the fact that it was visible across basically all the U.S. and North America, except here in Boston where it was raining, so thanks a lot. But also, a lot of people noticed that huge sunspot right in the middle of the solar disk, which just kind of added to the drama of the event.
Yeah, we see this beautiful celestial sight. We take it in. We try to absorb it the best we can as dumb humans. But when you say huge, what are we talking about? How big is this thing, the sunspot?
I have to tell you, this sunspot is the size of the planet Jupiter, which is about 10 times the size of the Earth. There hasn't been a sunspot group on the sun this big since 1990, almost a quarter of a century ago. So it is definitely making news among solar physicists.
Well, translate this for us. What exactly would those sunspots mean to us here on planet Earth?
Yeah, so these are the sites where solar flares can erupt from. And in fact, there was a really powerful one just a few days ago that didn't impact the Earth really that much. But if it were to unleash a really strong one, it could send a pulse of a wave of energy and magnetic fields at the Earth. You know, the good news is we have this magnetic envelope around us that kind of acts like a force field. But every once in a while, some of that blast wave can leak in. It can cause havoc, create strong electrical currents in our ionosphere, and including develop terrific displays of the northern lights, the aurora borealis.
Wow, so a little bit of good and bad with it. Okay, last question, then we'll let you go. Setting up the scheduler. When is our next opportunity to see one of these, Kelly?
Hey, I want you to all get your calendars out for 2017 and mark August 21st. That's when we'll see a total eclipse of the sun when the moon completely covers the sun's disk. And that event will be seen along a path from Oregon to the Carolinas, coast to coast across the U.S. It'll be definitely something to look forward to.
Okay, my man, it is done on the scheduler. Thanks so much. Hey, next up on the schedule, we're going to switch over to Vivian. She's got, says here, tropical update. Take it away, Viv.
The tropical update. Let's show you what we're watching today in the tropics. A couple of areas here, one in the Western Caribbean, one in the Eastern Pacific. We'll talk more about those in a moment. But also in the Central Pacific, the Hawaiian Islands here. Remember last week we were watching Tropical Storm Ana as it pushed just south of the island, even though it did bring to the island of Oahu near Honolulu some 10 inches of rain, believe that or not. Here is the latest on Tropical Storm Ana, still packing winds of 160 or just 60 miles per hour, not 160. The pressure 999 millibars. It's moving north at 8 miles per hour. So it's moving off in this direction, but we think eventually it's going to move back east. And you know what that means. It's going to be headed back toward the lower 48. Here's a look at the forecast right on through early Monday morning, still a tropical storm, and it will bring with it additional moisture in the Pacific Northwest, an area that we don't need another drop. Of course, we are watching those two systems, of course, here in the Western Caribbean and one in the Eastern Pacific. We'll talk more about that a little later. Reynolds?
Okay, Vivian, thanks so much. Folks, did you know that one of the strangest weather phenomena on Earth happens in both the fall and the winter? And believe it or not, it can be a monster. Check it out.
It's coming, it's coming. Office workers are amazed as a band of insane weather unexpectedly hits their building.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that within 5 minutes.
At Lake Michigan, storm chaser Reed Timmer is also hit by sudden and dramatic weather.
Very intense right now. Intense snowfall rates. Heaviest we've seen so far.
But these are no ordinary snowstorms. Because strangely, these intense blizzards are very localized. Only a few miles away, there are blue skies and sunshine.
It went from being a calm, dry, cold day to a raging blizzard in just a matter of miles. Wave after wave of whiteout conditions and extremely heavy snow and real intense winds coming off the lake.
Big time Lake Effect snow blizzard. That's the next cell coming in right there. It's going to be insane.
This phenomenon is known as lake effect snow.
And Wicked Weather Sundays begin at 9 p.m. Eastern here on the Weather Channel. Stick around. Got more coming up.
View from Above, brought to you by Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Explore more at tourksc.com.
What do astronauts eat?
Have lunch with one and find out. Only at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Meet real astronauts, see Space Shuttle Atlantis, and experience firsthand the future of America's space exploration.
Your heart is precious. One of many ways to support its health is new True Heart from One A Day. It's the only heart health supplement with ingredients to both help lower bad cholesterol and support healthy blood pressure, and also includes CoQ10. Try new True Heart.
Who are you?
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do.
He seemed nice.
How do you become the best at what you do? You focus. You work hard. You believe in reaching your dreams. That's how America's always done it. And that's how AAG has become America's leading reverse mortgage lender. It's all we do. And we're working to help the next generation of retirees enjoy the life they've worked so hard for. Find out how a reverse mortgage with AAG can fund your retirement.
Call 1-800-791-2075 now for your free information kit, including a complete reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a helpful family guide for your children and loved ones. Call 1-800-791-2075 to get your free info kit today.
A reverse mortgage is the way to turn your home's equity into cash you can use to eliminate your existing mortgage, pay some bills, or simply fund a longer, safer retirement for you and your family.
Call 1-800-791-2075 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones. You've worked hard. You've made plans. Now it's time to talk to the people who will work hard for you to help make those plans come true.
Call 1-800-791-2075 now for your free no-obligation guide.
Discover the new reverse mortgage for a better retirement. And find out why more people trust AAG than any other reverse mortgage lender.
Call 1-800-791-2075 today. 1-800-791-2075.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Call 1-800-791-2075.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
This is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, that's real.
Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Supernatural. Every Sunday night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, cloudy skies, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 30%. Saturday, mainly clear, high 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back, great people. Our big story today is a tornado that formed near Portland, Oregon. I'm Reynolds Wolf.
And I'm Vivian Brown. It kind of took everyone by surprise. Now, this isn't something you usually see in the state of Washington, but it was a tornado in Longview. Now, it turned out to be an EF1, and it tore down the middle of Main Street.
I came outside to look at the damage outside, and he was just coming out, and he goes, "Where's my trampoline? Where'd the trampoline go?" And I'm looking around. I look over my yard, and all my decorations are still standing there, and didn't even bump them. So I mean, the path of it is just crazy.
All right, the tornado had winds as high as 110 miles per hour. It went on for over a mile, tearing off roofs and throwing debris into the street. It went down 6 blocks in the Longview area. Then it ended up in the middle of a neighborhood. All right, now take a look at this. Now, sometimes even the bad weather can be beautiful in fall. This is a time lapse of the heavy rain moving through Alger, Washington. This is just north of the Seattle area. And unfortunately, we have some bad news. The rain isn't going away anytime soon. We have a set of storms moving through and then another round coming in after that. So you know the routine. Keep your rain boots and your umbrellas handy. Isn't that right, Reynolds?
Viv, why stop there? We may need the snorkel gear for some of the rainfall we're going to get in parts of the Northwest. It is going to be very heavy at times, folks. The bad thing about this is that we're not going to be seeing more of this in the Sierra Nevada. There will be some in this forecast. We're going to show you that, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the drought breaker. So as we put this into motion and we try to put it into motion, you'll see not only the rain showers, but the story that Vivian was talking about, the EF1 tornado very close to the I-5 corridor. And again, very interesting to see this thing develop. Thankfully, it didn't cause more damage and certainly cost any lives. So we have a lot of elements. You've got plenty of moisture from this, and this, of course, is the Pacific Ocean. You've got the Gulf of Alaska, which is sometimes a nursery for storms, for big areas of low pressure. Look at this. Got one right there, the upper level low. That's going to work in with the jet stream. It's going to pull that moisture, and we're also going to see the development of a trough. It's going to really affect parts of the Pacific Northwest, not just Washington, not just Oregon, but it's also going to bring some rain showers to parts of Northern California. Redding, Mount Shasta, the coastal range. You'll get those showers. By today, though, it looks like we're going to see the bulk of it in parts of Washington State and Oregon. As we get to tomorrow, the rain focus, and take a look, even a touch of snowfall for portions of the Sierra Nevada up near Donner Summit. Yep, you might see some there too. Then even into Sunday, we're seeing not only more snow showers back in parts of the Sierra, but take a look at this. Also seeing a touch of it over in Grand Teton National Park. Beautiful there. Also in Yellowstone, Northern Rockies, and some raindrops along the Big Blackfoot River. Great fly fishing there. Viv?
All right. Well, from the northwest to the northeast, earlier this week, the nor'easter churned up some pretty big waves off the East Coast and soaked cities with heavy rainfall, causing travel delays and even power outages. Sam Champion takes a look back at the major impacts from the nor'easter.
This is pretty bad. Wow. Look at my deli sign. It's going to float away, Bree.
The damage in Peabody, Massachusetts, near Boston. Fabrizio's Deli getting the severe side of the nor'easter that this morning is still soaking northern New England. From Lynn to Revere, Massachusetts, 6.3 inches of rain causing the sewer system to overflow, forcing some motorists to drive through roads filled with raw sewage. 59-mile-an-hour wind gusts toppling trees along the coastline near Boston. About 1,000 Massachusetts customers are still without power this morning, down from over 10,000 yesterday. One tree falling just feet from where firefighters were already at work clearing away debris from the storm.
The fire department was in the process of responding up the street to another one, and I think as they were driving by, the tree rolled over, and it kind of caught them off guard.
In New Hampshire, drivers forced to take it slow after reported 3.6 inches of rain flooding streets in Nashua. But for some, the wind stayed near 30 miles an hour, and that made a beautiful sight, kicking up the surf along the coast of Maine, drawing a handful of spectators to the shore.
This to me is fantastic. I mean, we probably got, 5-10-foot waves out there. It just goes to show you how vicious and how the wrath of nature, and how mean and how angry the North Atlantic can get.
All right, you talk about the nor'easter. The good thing is that it is exiting. You can see the most operative word here. It exits New England, and I know that is bringing smiles to your faces, because check out how much rain has already fallen over the last couple of days, anywhere from 2 to over 4 inches in the Bangor area. That's because that nor'easter was just sitting off the coast, just pulling in all of the moisture from the Atlantic and just those persistent winds. And speaking of winds, even right now, we have some pretty feisty ones, especially down here near Nantucket. Some 20-mile-per-hour winds being reported, but the winds will even start to relax as we go through the weekend, because the area of low pressure will be moving farther and farther away. Still some lighter rain showers, though, wrapping around it here, floating across New England. What's the left of it here across the northern parts of Maine. So perhaps Maine will be the last area to really dry out. As you can see, even in the Caribou area, right on through the wee hours of the morning tomorrow, looking at some light rain. But other areas over the northeast, let me tell you right now, it is going to dry out. It's going to clear out and make for a gorgeous weekend from Boston, New York, Philadelphia, down to D.C. Again, that's the whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, looking pretty good. Okay, it's Friday, but a week from today, it's Halloween, Reynolds.
Oof, I mean, that is a big day for a lot of the kids out there. And for that big day, we need something special. We need some great weather. Question is your weather going to be more of a trick or a treat? And for that, we're going to send it over to Dr. Greg Postel. Hey, your favorite holidays, Halloween. So what do you think is going to be served up?
Yeah, lots of ghosts, maybe some goblins. I'm all for it. But you know what? We have to look at the models and try to see through all the ghosts to get the right answer, because there's some pretty deceiving forecasts out there. Let's have a look at the Euro forecast for next Friday, for Halloween. And there is the jet stream according to the Euro model, which we think of as a pretty accurate model, right? Going on about 5-6 days. And let's just say, for example, that we do have this trough in the jet stream. And if we do, it's going to bring temperatures kind of like this, where it's going to be warmer than average in the west, and actually chilly, cold, I would say, colder than average in the eastern third, including like Chicago, Detroit, Nashville, Tennessee, maybe even Atlanta. But the question is, can you believe it? That's just one model. you know what? You got to look at a lot of them. And these global models are run in a way that you can look at a lot of them because they're run a whole lot of different times. They tweak them, and each time they tweak them, they run a jet stream, and you get a pattern that looks like this. So there was the forecast that we just saw, which was one version, but then each one of these lines is a different tweak to the same model of the jet stream forecast for next Friday. And you get the sense that when you tweak the model even just a little bit, you're still getting some troughiness there on the East Coast. You're still getting a lot of dips in the jet stream there. There's friends out there. That main operational run has friends in the ensemble member suite. That's this fancy word for there's a lot of agreement there. There's a consensus there for perhaps some chilly air coming into the eastern third of the country, I would say, next Halloween. So look at our official forecast, which tries to blend everything together. Right now we're going 53 in Chicago, 71 in Charlotte, 60 in New York. But you know what? There is a trend now, a risk in the forecast, which says, you know what? We're starting to see a sign that perhaps there is more significant cold coming into the eastern third. And as far as our confidence in that right now, it's at the medium range, 4 out of 10. But I have a feeling, guys, stay tuned for later on this afternoon or this weekend. I'll be talking more about this. I think our confidence is going to go up and some cold air coming in. Back to you.
Okay, thanks so much. Maybe time to bundle up for the Halloween day. Okay, folks, Friday Night Lights, that story's coming up. Stick around.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, a shower or two possible this evening with partly cloudy skies overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier Comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,450 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Sir, we're loaded and getting ready to go. We're gonna need you on the runway.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Let's take these piggies out for new carpet. No, not those. These. Let's get in touch with texture. Something with a twist. Let's look at loops and get a feel for patterns in all sorts of colors. But let's not break the bank. Then, let's get it rolled out right. The perfect carpet? Yeah. Let's bring it all the way home. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Schedule a measure today. Carpet installation is now just $37.
December 7th. Go ahead, mark your calendars. It's the last day you can switch your Medicare Part D plan. We're ready, and we can't wait to switch. What I wanted was simple, the most value for my dollar. So now that it's time, we're making the move to a plan that really works for us.
Make the switch to an AARP Medicare RX plan, insured through United Healthcare. Open enrollment ends December 7th, so don't wait. Call now for a free enrollment guide, which includes a summary of plan benefits and other helpful information. Or enroll right over the phone. Discover why AARP Medicare RX Part D plans are so popular with over 5 million plan members and counting. Choose a plan with low premiums or one with no annual deductible and start saving with your first prescription fill.
Plus, we'll be covered at like 60,000 pharmacies. So if we visit our kids in Portland or go anywhere in the country, we know we're covered.
Enjoy copays for as low as $1 with the Preferred Retail Pharmacy Network, which includes thousands of pharmacies and retail locations like these. United Healthcare has worked to get low costs for plan members.
I called the moment I heard about it. I even got help picking out the perfect plan for me. So did my wife. It was easy, really easy.
Get ready for a Part D plan that gives you low premiums or no annual deductible and coverage you can be happy with.
December 7th is coming. I'm glad we're switching.
Open enrollment ends December 7th, so don't wait. Make the switch to an AARP Medicare RX plan. With United Healthcare, you'll discover a great way you could save money while making sure you're taking care of yourself. So call now for a free enrollment guide, which includes a summary of plan benefits and other helpful information. Or enroll right over the phone. AARP Medicare RX plans insured through United Healthcare. Call today.
It brings generations of Americans together, connecting us to our community as no other tradition can. When the stadium lights go on, Main Street shuts down. It's more than high school football. Your team, your town, your forecast. 12 towns in 12 weeks. It's time for Friday Night Lightning.
Well, as our series 12 Towns, 12 Weeks continues, we head to North Texas. We're just 40 miles north of Dallas. You'll find the small town of Salina. It's home of the Bobcats. As Jim Cantore has the story, they're the Lone Star State's real boys of fall.
I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass.
It's autumn in Salina, Texas, and the color orange is everywhere. Because here, orange means Bobcats football, Salina's boys of fall. But before the chill comes the trial of summer against the toughest opponent of all, the Texas Heat.
Heat is that factor. It's going to be a factor. You simply have to deal with it, pure and simple.
And dealing with it means being in it.
One thing coaches always tell us is that everybody has to practice in this heat, so we all just got to overcome it.
Make sure you're coaching up. Make sure you're watching your guy. Know what's going on. We get them out here in the heat because on Friday nights it's going to be hot. Those kids have got to be conditioned for it, and so they better be prepared to be able to play out there in that humidity.
Sometimes Mother Nature wins. Texas high school coaching legend Butch Ford says 39 years of scorching hot practices in August played a role in his decision to retire.
I remember the last year that I coached, I walked out on the field for that afternoon practice at 2 o'clock, and I looked around, there's about 110 in the shade, and I'm thinking, what are you doing?
But even the extreme Texas weather can't stop Salina's success. An 8-time state champion, including 4 straight titles during a 68-game winning streak from 1998 to 2002.
That is blatant blocking right there, and nobody's calling it. In little towns like mine, that's all they got.
Mainstream America knows Salina thanks to country music star Kenny Chesney. This small, football-crazy community, front and center, in his 2010 hit music video, The Boys of Fall.
The Boys of Fall.
Because after all, Texas high school football here is more than just a song. It's reality, a place where kids dream of being center stage on Friday night.
The town's shut down. It's just like you see on the movies. It's a pretty great atmosphere, just knowing that everyone in the whole town is here supporting you and they have your back in everything that you do.
And saying Salina shuts down on game day isn't a stretch.
It's better now than it was at one time because there's more people in town, but years ago when it came Friday night, there wasn't anybody left in town. You could have closed up.
And that's rain or shine. With modern turf fields now, mud bowls have become a thing of the past. So even when storms sweep across the Lone Star State, the games play on.
You may have to postpone them 2 or 3 hours or something. The storms will come in and they'll roll out when the lightning's gone and you can play.
Because in Texas, even Mother Nature can't turn off the lights of Friday night.
Salina is 5-2 heading in tonight's contest against Bonham. Hey, here's a look at the forecast of the big game. And what we're expecting is 80 degrees or so. Wind is going to be out of the south, and I'd say anywhere from 3 to maybe 7 miles per hour. But still beautiful dry conditions. It's going to be the start of a fairly warm weekend for you across much of Texas. Meanwhile, Booker T. Washington Tornadoes and the Miami Norland High School Vikings. This is in Miami, Florida. 75 with a chance of thunderstorms, hit or miss thunderstorms, mind you. Meanwhile, we're still watching a couple of games in parts of the bigger leagues, not NFL, but college. Husky Stadium outside of Seattle. We've got the number 14 Washington Huskies against the Arizona State Sun Devils. Interesting game there. We can expect plenty of sunshine. In Knoxville, just the opposite. We're expecting partly cloudy skies, 64 degrees for the Alabama Crimson Tide, number 4 in the country, and the Tennessee Volunteers. All right, Viv, back to you.
All right, well, it is going to be a beautiful weekend across most of the country. Atlanta, you are included. Looking great from Coca-Cola's world headquarters right now. Afternoon highs expected in the middle 70s tomorrow and low 80s on Sunday. Absolutely gorgeous weekend over most of the South. Well, coming up, we've got some amazing new video from Hurricane Odile that you just have to see. And you may have seen this view of the eclipse, but we have more incredible images from that event and the other big weather stories in our top 5 photos. In the meantime, forget about politics. It's gorgeous in D.C. when we come back.
Can you start tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we're booked solid.
We close on the house tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we go live.
It's a day full of promise. And often, that day arrives by train.
Big day today? Even bigger one tomorrow.
CSX, how tomorrow moves.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow-simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
Rich, chewy caramel, rolled up in smooth milk chocolate.
All aboard.
Rolo, get your smooth on.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel. Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, a shower or two possible this evening with partly cloudy skies overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Charlie. His long day of doing it himself starts with back pain and a choice.
Take 4 Advil in a day, or just 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
Honey, you did it.
Lowe's presents How to Make It Quiet by Being Loud.
Save up to 20% off select major appliances, $3.99 and more, plus 5% off with your Lowe's card.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
When myths become reality, a lost city rises from the sea, and your vacation becomes legendary. Discover all the wonders of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park and the thrill of the Atlantis Casino.
Hey, Matt, what's up?
Just looking over the company bills.
Is that what we pay for internet?
Yep, DSL's about $90 a month.
That's funny. For that price with Comcast Business, I think you get like 50 megabits.
Wow, that's fast.
Personally, I prefer slow internet. There is something about the sweet, meditative glow of a loading website.
Don't listen to the naysayer. Switch to Comcast Business today and get 50 megabits per second for $89.95. Comcast Business, built for business.
No matter how much I loved my mother or my sisters or my wife, none of that mattered because they always came second to heroin. Everything did.
I didn't know at the time the power that the drugs had over him, and I was so afraid of losing him, and I knew enough about B-Hop, and I knew what they could do. To me, it's amazing. It's almost like I wish somebody would pinch me and make sure that, I'm not dreaming.
If someone you know is struggling with drug or alcohol addiction, please call or visit us at interventionnow.com.
4656. Or go to HumanaBigBook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this. Listen to that.
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
New video into the Weather Channel today. This is from Hurricane Odile that hit Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in mid-September. This is certainly the surveillance video from the Holiday Inn Express in Cabo. Let's bring in Dr. Postel. Dr. Postel, your thoughts on this video?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, Viv. I'm looking at that, and they were actually in the eye and thinking, well, I don't know what they were thinking, but it was calm. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, they get hit by winds over 100 miles per hour that probably ramp up in just a couple of seconds. And looks like it scared them pretty good. I mean, it would me, too. I've been in that situation before where you've been in the eye, it's clear, and all of a sudden it gets really bad. But, yeah, that is pretty amazing stuff. And sometimes actually the back part of the storm, the secondary part of the eye wall that comes over, is worse than the first, and that may have been the case this time around from the accounts that I read. Good news is right now elsewhere in the tropics, guys, it's quiet. We have actually a 20% chance now on this invest over here in the Caribbean. Earlier this morning it was at 10%, now it's 20%. And what's going on there is that this is an area of disturbed weather right in here, some showers and thunderstorms across the region. But I'll tell you what, there's a front not too far away to its north that's kind of moving in that direction. And when it catches up with that area of thunderstorms, I think it's curtains for those thunderstorms. I don't think they have much of a shot. Fronts and developing thunderstorms this time of year, in this instance, they're not friends. So I think we're going to see this cool, dry air win out in the long run and send this area of thunderstorms packing. And you can see it pretty much the case here on our radar down here. Notice how the elements here in the showers and storms and the clouds are moving from north to south. That's the front, guys. That's a cold front that's made it down through parts of the Caribbean tomorrow afternoon. That's pretty far south. So this is sort of a sign that the tropical season is coming to a quick close. There, but not necessarily globally. Look at this. We have in the Arabian Sea right now a ominous looking system here. This is a developing tropical cyclone in the Arabian Sea, northern part of the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world. And the models do suggest this thing is going to get pretty strong. Here's one of them. Here's a Euromodel forecast where the center circulation is right about there, kind of moving toward the west and may very well make a landfall in Yemen or Oman in the next, say, 5 days or so. And we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it because there are some signs that it could be pretty strong. So quiet here on our side of the world. not so everywhere else. Guys, back to you.
You know, it's not every day that Oman or Yemen gets a shout out in the forecast.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. Hey, you know what else is amazing? We often say here at the Weather Channel, it's amazing out there. And right now we want to see and at least show you some of the amazing pictures.
That's right. It's time now for our top 5 photos highlighting some of the best images and biggest weather stories of the week. Number 5, let's show you this funnel cloud. You know, we've been telling you about it. And we believe that this is the one that produced a tornado that hit Longview, Washington. The National Weather Service confirms an EF1 twister in the area. No fatalities or injuries reported, though. That's good.
It's always great news. And take a look at this. New England can expect improving weather now that the nor'easter has moved out, but not before great images like this one. This photo of massive waves hitting parts of the Massachusetts coastline. This is actually near the town of Hull. It's near the Gun Rock neighborhood. Spectacular.
Number 3, did you catch the eclipse yesterday? Well, we carried it live right here on the Weather Channel. This photo of the partial eclipse shot at sunset in Buffalo, Minnesota.
Yeah, fear not, though, if you missed that. Well, you got 2017. You can see it again. Well, you can see this right now. Check this out. The cloud formation over Texas. This was taken from the International Space Station. Astronaut Reed Weissman. Tip of the cap to him. Great shot. This is over Houston. Looks like the city was dissected.
And number 1, our picture. This is of cool clouds too, the billow clouds. This was shot yesterday in Colorado. And Dr. Greg Forbes says that they indicate a lot of vertical shear in the atmosphere. You can see actually the sky looks like the ocean with those little waves there. Oh, we love that photo. And we would love to see your pictures too. You can upload your photos, your videos anytime. Just go to weather.com/photos.
If you can dream it, you can do it. Weather.com, that's where you send them. All right, folks, get so much more coming up with Weather Center Live. Thanks so much.
Have a good one.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, a shower or two possible this evening with partly cloudy skies overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Weather Center Live, the power of a deadly hurricane caught on camera. Coming up, hear from the man sitting just feet away from flying glass shattered by a Category 3 storm.
Plus, sudden and unexpected, a tornado hits a small Washington town. Tonight, we are tracking the threat of strong wind and heavy rain through the weekend. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live. It's Friday the 24th. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave Schwartz.
Happy Friday, Dave.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Kyla Grogan. The nor'easter moving out and making way for a nice weekend in New England. I know the cheers are going up everywhere on that news. Yeah. But a much different story in the Northwest. People from Seattle down to San Francisco will be dealing with some rain and strong wind gusts.
That's right. Gale warnings already in effect. Washington, Oregon, Northern California. There's even an isolated threat for tornado as this thing moves in. An EF1 tornado hit the town of Longview, Washington, right on Interstate 5 yesterday. That's on the Oregon-Washington border. Now, winds estimated to be up to 110 miles an hour with this one. It caused serious roof damage to businesses and homes. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but a tornado in Washington state. How about that one, Kyla?
Yeah, I tell you, that is unusual, but, you know, very dangerous. So we have to keep our guard up because it's going to be stormy in the Northwest right through the weekend. I wish I could give you better news. Unfortunately, the rest of the country looking pretty good, but we are going to see the rain, the wind yet again. In fact, see a few showers, just light showers now making their way into Oregon. So Medford, a little north of you. But this is the problem. We have a strengthening system right off the coast getting ready to churn up some more nasty weather for our weekend here. So you can see the trough, you can see our low pressure system, and it's really going to slide right in there with that big jet stream dive that's happening right off the coast. So all of that moisture is going to be trained right in, and unfortunately that sets us up to kind of keep this pattern of stormy weather going, even potentially interrupting. You can see that rain making it down to San Francisco. World Series play on Saturday. We'll get to more of that in a moment, but take a look at Sunday. The rain certainly going to be at the coast in Portland and Seattle, but you can see a little snow in the Cascade Mountains. If you get into the Tetons, if you head down to the Bitterroots, we're talking up above 6,000 feet, but certainly some mountain snow is going to be part of the forecast. And the wind is going to be kicking up as we work our way through Saturday. There's your Saturday morning. You can see about 11 a.m., 20 to 25 mile per hour winds in places like the coast right along there in Newport. And then it will get a little bit better as we get into our Saturday evening. But unfortunately, not a great forecast. You can see how much rain coming your way, about 2 to 3 inches in spots up in the northern part of our country. Along the coast, more 1 to 2. San Francisco, we're talking up to 1 inch of rain. That's between now and Sunday. And Portland, watch out for that wind tomorrow. That's going to make things a little unpleasant here. You can see temperatures in the 60s, but we'll push down into the 50s as we work through the weekend. Not a lot of sunshine there, Dave, but the people in Portland are sunny.
They're a hardy bunch, I tell you. You know, rain, wind, that's typical this time of year and right through the winter. But a tornado in Longview, Washington? Well, it happened. Unfortunately, no one was hurt, but as you can see, plenty of damage. KGW's Nina Melhoff shows us some of the worst.
A lot of damage still on the ground here in Longview, Washington. Take a look. This is some of the most visual representation of what happened yesterday afternoon. This cinder block wall at this towing company was no match for this tornado. It brought down tons of bricks right down on top of one of their towing vehicles and just made a complete mess of their backyard here. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the city. No employees in this building were hurt, but boy, were they sure freaked out when this EF1 tornado came right over the top of their building. The National Weather Service says there were 110 mile per hour winds. This thing covered almost 1.5 miles, and people could see the funnel forming in the dark sky. They got their cell phone cameras out and started taking pictures of it. All of a sudden, debris, roofing, garbage cans, even a huge trampoline, all tossed in the air. At least 8 buildings were damaged and a number of homes and trees were uprooted. Now, also, the National Weather Service is here on the ground surveying all this damage today. They say the last time this happened in Washington, it was down in Vancouver in 1972. So this is obviously very rare, and it really came out of nowhere. We've had a few days of rain and some higher winds gusting in the 40-50 mile per hour range, but nothing like this. Luckily, no one was hurt. Back to you.
We are fortunate. Thanks so much. On the other side of the country, it's as quiet can be. Live pictures from the Coca-Cola World headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is beautiful out here. Take a look at the temperatures. We're 70 under clear skies, calm winds. It's gorgeous. 68 in Alpharetta, 70 at East Point. Let's check on the forecast, and I'll tell you it's a good one because this is going to continue right through the weekend. If you've got a smile on your face right now in Atlanta, or you're going to be just giggling up a storm this weekend. Gorgeous, whatever outdoor plans you have coming up. There's our 70. Just some high, thin clouds rolling by, moving now over Athens and headed toward Augusta. No rain here and no rain for the entire weekend. Even Miami clears out, and we've got some rain around here now. Look at our temperatures. They're only going to go up each and every afternoon from now through the weekend. You know, there's a trough of low pressure over us now. Here's the real warm air, at least relative to average, and that is going to be crossing the Mississippi River this weekend. So say hello to a nice warm ridge. This flow is not coming out of Canada. If anything, it's coming out of Texas to Piedmont Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Southwest winds really going to heat it up. Look at the numbers as we head through the weekend. Saturday, 76. That's 6 degrees above average for Atlanta. You saw the other numbers near or above the 80-degree mark on Sunday. Does it get any better than this? I don't think so. Low humidity, highs in the 80s, overnight lows generally in the 50s, so a cool start. Man, this is almost perfect. So get out there and enjoy whatever plans you have for the weekend. It's going to be great, even down at the beach. Charleston and nearby Folly Beach. How about Jekyll Island in Georgia? Temperatures in the 80s Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I like the sound of that. Kyla, what do you think?
I think that sounds fantastic because I'm in Atlanta this weekend. Well, for the third time in 5 years, San Francisco will host a World Series game. Ahead of tonight's Game 3, we show you why weather may play the biggest role at AT&T Park, plus our prediction for a fan favorite. And it's the video that took your breath away a month ago. Now, thanks to a new video, a new perspective, we see just how close one storm chaser got to the destruction of Hurricane Odile. And let's take a live look at Washington, D.C. Boy, it's much nicer weather, isn't it, today, everybody? Get ready to enjoy a stellar weekend coming your way. Hello there, White House and Capitol.
Your next journey takes you. Start something special in the all-new CR-V Touring from Honda.
They call it a minivan, but there's nothing mini about it. Say goodbye to the two-seater and hello to parenthood.
Allstate can help you save an average of $3,000 on a new car. Let an Allstate agent surprise you by helping you get a deal on the car you might not want, but really need. Plus, call now and get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safe.
Just a few more ways the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 866-538-7521 now.
I have visions I can't control. Are we gonna help each other out or not?
Everyone who puts their trust in me dies.
Constantine premieres tonight at 10/9 Central after the premiere of Grimm on NBC.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather like never before.
Look at this!
Listen to that! Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
You do a lot to keep your family safe at home. So make sure they're safer on the road. See farther, wider, better. Upgrade to Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
Thank you for staying with the Weather Center Live. And tonight is a night many in the Bay have been waiting for. The World Series returns to San Francisco. Kyla?
Yeah, and here's a live look. 68 degrees, by the way, right now in beautiful San Francisco as the Giants and Royals prepare for tonight's all-important Game 3. What a great city that is. I love San Francisco.
Got to turn it over to our big weather sports guy, Paul Goodlow. He'll be along to break down the forecast for tonight's game and Game 4 tomorrow night. But first, we want to take an in-depth look at AT&T Park.
Yeah, very unique place. As meteorologist Mike Bettis shows us, it was a park built with the weather in mind.
This is where the Giants call home, and arguably the first baseball stadium with a design influenced by weather. Enter Bruce White, a nationally recognized authority in airflow physics at the University of California, Davis, asked by the Giants to help solve its windy issues.
Knowing the wind environment in the city of San Francisco, it could prove to be a challenge to work with that and make it a friendly, wind-friendly stadium.
Using a 1/50th scale model of downtown San Francisco, White's team tested 2 proposed stadium configurations in the school's wind tunnel.
The blueprint the team architects originally favored had the grandstands to the east. This gave most of the fans a beautiful panoramic view to the west of downtown San Francisco. Now, the only problem with that is during baseball season, April through October, the prevailing wind in San Francisco is out of the west and northwest. And during wind tunnel testing, this park design and setup would actually double the winds of Old Candlestick Park.
The preferred design had the problem of the wind catching essentially the upper deck and swirling around like a vortex, really not unlike what was occurring at Candlestick Point.
It just wasn't going to work, and as much as everyone loves views here in San Francisco, we had to modify the design.
By rotating the stadium 135 degrees, the tall grandstands would now act as a wind buffer to the strong west and northwest breezes during the baseball season. It was this subtle change, all for the sake of weather, that would also create, inadvertently, one of baseball's most iconic right fields, as home runs would splash down in McCovey Cove.
Let's talk about the forecast for tonight's game here with the design of the stadium and the weather approaching. Well, again, first in terms of temperatures, it should feel pretty comfortable. 68 degrees with the wind from the southwest at 12 miles per hour. That southwest wind, well, it means that the winds will be blowing once again back to left field, just like they were in Kansas City the first night, which means we still have a slight edge for right-handed hitters hitting balls to the left field, perhaps even over the left field fence. So who exactly will benefit from this type of wind? Well, guys like Pablo Sandoval, a.k.a. the Panda. He bats from both sides of the plate, but he has 6 hits so far, but no home runs in the World Series. Also, he is a huge crowd favorite, and he is due. Get this, 2 years ago to the day, the Panda hit 3 home runs in 1 game in the World Series against the Tigers. All right, so definitely we're going to have a Game 4 as well on Saturday. That's more interesting in terms of the weather. Rain coming in tomorrow night and then maybe lingering for the game. But the winds here, 16 miles per hour and a lot gustier as well, perhaps gusting to 25 miles per hour or more, which will really help pushing that ball well to the left side of the field. So again, the weather a much bigger player in tomorrow night's game, but slightly for tonight's game. And again, the winner of tonight's game, Game 3, in terms of percentages, if you win tonight, you go on to win the World Series 70% of the time.
Thanks, Paul.
Well, it is a view of a hurricane from 2 vantage points. We'll talk to the man caught in the middle of it all.
Listen up, Thunder Dragons. It's time to get a hotel.
Hey, Razor, check this out. We can save big with Priceline Express deals.
You know what, man? These guys ain't no dragons.
They're cool. These deals are legit.
Hey, we're cool.
She's cool. We're cool.
It has been said that beauty is found within, that what's on the inside is what really counts. Agreed. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. During the Jeep Celebration event, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2014 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $359 a month.
We're almost there. If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
Again?
But we just went.
Ask your doctor about Myrbetriq, mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage.
Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor.
Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications. So tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If your overactive bladder is calling the shots, ask your doctor about Myrbetriq. Visit mybladder.com to see if you're eligible for a year's worth of savings on Myrbetriq.
This is a map of the pressure points on my feet.
I had flat feet. I learned where the stress was at the Dr. Scholl's Foot Mapping Center. Then I got my number, which matched the custom fit orthotic inserts with the right support.
Go to drscholls.com for locations and save $10.
I'm a believer.
Don't let back pain limit your life. I'm Arlene Mandrell, the Mandrell Sisters, and I'd like to share a solution with you.
Get the DDS 500 with no out-of-pocket cost to you with Medicare and other major insurances. The only patented back support that provides adjustable traction. The DDS 500 adjusts to your comfort level and fits discreetly under clothes.
So what are you waiting for? Call Allied Home Medical now. 1-800-230-6099.
This fall, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It will all start with the weather.
The weather's too important to cover in a few minutes.
It's starting to intensify.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
Look at this.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? What are you doing? I can't believe you're watching this without me. We agreed we'd catch up on everything tonight. If I did this to you, you'd murder me in my sleep. You know what? Just watch it by yourself. I can't not know when I know that you know.
The latest episodes of the Top 100 shows are preloaded and ready to watch with Xfinity On Demand. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
At Seaside Palm Beach, we recognize that you may have other obligations in your life. When you're here, you'll be able to bring your laptop. We encourage you to bring your phone. We don't want you disconnected from the rest of the world. Where other treatment centers will not allow you to have these things, we know that you have a life, but we're going to help you live that life better than when you came here. Your transition from chemically dependent to chemical-free will be as painless as possible. Seaside, Palm Beach, please come see us.
Myosarcoma, you may be entitled to compensation. Call now for a free consultation.
1-800-373-8147.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live. Check out this video. Look at that. This is new video we just got in today. It's from Hurricane Odile that hit Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in mid-September. Now, this is surveillance video from the Holiday Inn Express in Cabo, and you can see the people ducking for cover. That was actually storm chaser Josh Morgerman. Now, we're going to hear from him in just a minute, but first, we're in the lab, and Dr. Greg Postel has been looking at this video. There's no sound to the video, so once we talk to Josh, we want to find out what he heard, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking he heard a roar in the distance of that wind, probably over 100 miles per hour, coming at him and going from essentially calm to 100 in a couple of seconds, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, I guess, presumably in the eye when it was calm.
Yeah.
And then the backside of the eye wall came in. From all the accounts we've heard, the backside of the eye wall was worse than the front side. So that's pretty remarkable stuff. Very dangerous, too.
Let's take a look at the video here.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that is incredible stuff. So if you know, part of this video is they're sort of sitting there, and before this happened, and they knew they were in the eye. I'm assuming they were. And what happened was the wind just, look at that, just comes howling inside the building.
And the guy in the black T-shirt is shooting the video.
Yeah,
I believe.
That is pretty remarkable.
He's coming out of the shot there, but there you see with his cell phone, and that's the video we're seeing on the right side of the screen.
Correct. The video, some of it's being shot here, and this is what you see on this side. Right, and you know, I've been in a situation not quite this bad, but I've been through the eye of a hurricane, and all of a sudden, it gets very bad. The eye wall, the worst part, the little rings that surrounds the eye, and sometimes you can tell it's coming because you know if you can see like power up lights flashing on the horizon, all of a sudden power poles are getting blown down, then you know a really bad wind is coming. I'm not sure they had that kind of warning here.
So you think there's a possibility that they went from the calm of the eye to 100-mile-an-hour winds within like 5 seconds, and that's when the doors blew off and everything started crashing?
I think that's what happened. We can ask them to find out.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get Josh in here. We have him on Skype. Am I right? Is he available? Beautiful. Josh Morgerman, you look like you're in a much safer place than you were back there in that Holiday Inn Express.
Yes.
Did you just hear the conversation that Dr. Postell and I were having about...
Yes, I did. I was listening.
Okay, so we'd like to know from you, since we don't have the sound, was it already windy outside, or did you go from eye calm to eye wall wild in just seconds?
Your interpretation was very close. We cleared the eye and went back into the eye wall a couple of minutes before that explosion happened. The wind picked up very, very quickly, very little buildup, just all of a sudden it went up to a roar, and we heard a banging sound for about a minute, and the hotel manager said, "That sounds like gunshots," and I said, "Yeah, that does sound like gunshots," and all of a sudden, boom, and that's when you see everything start flying. So it took a couple of minutes of the wind pounding at that speed for everything to go flying. But the buildup from calm to crazy was very quick, as you guys describe it.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. So it sounds like they were actually in part of the eye wall already, but then the building was stressed so much that the wind actually finally came in, and that's exactly what we're seeing. That's you must have been afraid for your life. I mean, that flying debris is lethal potentially.
Absolutely. You know, as a storm chaser, you're always just trying to get, you know, deep in the storm, in the teeth of it. And this was one of the few times in my career where I felt like, wow, you know, I got deep in it. It got real. You know, it was like front row seat, and it was absolutely scary. I'll say it. It was, you know, just the impact of it.
So do you want to do it again? I mean, does going through something like this make you think, well, wait a minute, what did I just do? I value my life. I'm not going to do it again. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I think this is part of the mental illness of being a storm chaser. Yes, I do want to do it again.
Would you do anything differently, knowing that that kind of thing can happen?
Yeah, I think, you know, in retrospect, I think it wasn't wise that we were standing in a wide span lobby with a whole wall of glass. Like that, just, you know, rethinking that probably wasn't the best thinking, you know. It just honestly, it didn't occur to us that it was going to be that bad. I have to be honest, Odile it exceeded every expectation. We did not expect such a severe hurricane on the Baja California Peninsula. So there was lesson learned there, is that you just never know what these things are going to bring.
Well, glad to hear you're well.
That was professional storm chaser Josh Morgerman. Thank you so much, Josh. Well, I'll tell you, parents, it's not too early to start making Halloween plans.
Right.
You're a parent, right?
I am.
Coming up, we're looking 1 week into the future, weather-wise.
At the end of the day, my hands are beat up.
Especially during the winter times, hands are splitting, cracking, making it very difficult to do my job.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
Best stuff we've ever used.
It just works.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
In the nation, the safest feature in your car is you. Add vanishing deductible from Nationwide Insurance and get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Which for you shouldn't be a problem. Just another way we put members first, because we don't have shareholders. Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Uh-oh, you're behind the wheel and the sun is so bright you're blinded by the light and can't see a thing. Your visor doesn't stop it, so you dare to drive right into the glare. Stop blinding sun and dangerous glare with EasyView XT, the amazing fast flip-down glare blocker that blocks sun glare in a split second. Just slide EasyView XT onto any visor and that's it. It stays sure and secure, no tools or assembly required. With just a flip, you've got the sun and glare neutralizing protection you need at your fingertips. Traditional car sun visors block your view and impede your vision. EasyView XT is made of clear acrylic that you can see right through with a perfect tint to diffuse light and glare so you can keep the road ahead in clear view. Look, morning sun makes it impossible to see, but you always have a clear view with EasyView XT. With late afternoon glare, you can't see what's ahead, but with EasyView XT, you'll be amazed at what you'll see instead. It even reduces glare from oncoming headlights at night.
I drive my kids from school every afternoon directly into the sun, but now with EasyView XT, I can actually see and keep my family safe.
I drive nearly 100 miles each day for work, and with EasyView XT, I never have to squint into the sun.
With EasyView XT, I'm a lot more comfortable and confident behind the wheel.
I won't even put my rig in gear without my EasyView XT in it.
Stop squinting and gazing into the sun and glare.